Hi, Crossroads. And as always, my claimer, I always have to have my disclaimer. When I search, this name was not taken. So, anyways, I want to talk about protection anywhere today. So let me get right into that. And I before I start, I want to just state this right now because I know there's some know-it-all out there that's going to start trouble. Everyone has their own groove that they need to be in, and it's kind of like the saying, different paths all lead to the same God, or whatnot, or many paths lead to God. And it's true, we all have our own mission here. And remember, this channel is mainly for people who maybe were born with the veils open, and they need help with things, and they see different things or hear different things or know different things and whatnot. And right now the veils are very thin. So anyways, I want to talk about protection anywhere. um, and I'm doing this specifically because I ran into somebody today, weird as it is. I wasn't going to go into a store and something said, go into that store. And I did. And a lot of good things came out of it. And I made a connection with somebody. But here we go. So basically, for protection, um, I did a couple different things. Let's start with my car. Once you've cleaned everything out, like physically and spiritually, so you've cleaned everything out, kept it from being cluttered up, and then you went and you took, your Santa Paulo, your sweetgrass, your sage, whatever, and you cleansed out your car. I use multiple types of cleansing. So once you do that and you cleanse everything out, um, and I prefer smoke because it just gets into things better on that level. Um, and then once you're done with that, very economical things you can do is you can tie sachets with herbs in them on your mirror. And it can also be a sachet that has like little crystals or little gemstones or little tiny mirrors that reflect back out. But you can have herbs in there that are specific for keeping very dark entities and things away. Um, I, for example, keep bay leaves, cinnamon, cloves, agrimony, carnations, not chrysanthemums, calendula or marigolds in mine. And I keep that inside of a little container that was an air freshener, one of those big hand-sized round disc air fresheners that you get at like the Dollar Tree for $1. I got that sucker, put it out there in the heat in my car. Once it was all melted out, I washed it with some good cleansing stuff like Chinese floor wash or bath wash. What else? The Florida water. I used it and got it out and done. Then once it was all set, I saged it because I am not taking any chances. And so I did that. And then I put my herbs in there and put them under my seat. Now, lately, they've been moving out, so I know I need to get more. And I know I am getting harassed because I got a text message today, and I've had some issues with a particular company that I like pay on time or I overpay them, and it's just really awful with them. So, anyways, so I know I need to start doing that again. And some things have happened at work where I'm like, there's something going on. There's mischief afoot. So I know I need to take care of that. The other thing is, that's for like your car boat. The other thing I do is I also keep the evil eye and a wooden cross on my dash. And the wooden cross was made by blind people in Korea, South Korea. And I've had it for a very long time, and I've always cherished that piece that I have because somebody who considers something like that very sacred, who has a lot of their senses open, made that. So that's something I have that's very beautiful that I keep. So I have that hanging up. And I also have a black tourmaline reticulated quartz that hangs in there that's been prayed over, that has copper wiring around of it, that I keep as use for a talisman to protect my car and to reflect back any harm from somebody who might be purposefully, maliciously trying to kill me, trying to cause harm or danger to me. That piece is what helps send stuff back. Or if it's just regular temperament, anger, something happened, because when you're driving, hello, that is a piece that just goes back and takes the energy and grounds it back into Mother Earth. Okay? Everything's spirit, everything is energy, everything is sacred. Period. It is all alive. Whether people want to believe it or not, it's alive in some way of some form of consciousness. So I have that. I also keep a spray bottle in my car that's very small that I had gotten that had oil in it. Once that oil was done, I did the same process with washing it out and cleansing it and letting it dry completely. Then I used my Archangel Michael selenite oil that I made, and I use that. I keep it with me so I can put it in my hair, put it on my body before I go into work. Because how many times have I taken a shower and gotten sidetracked and not gotten my oil on me? Holy cow. So I did that. I also have selenite, a piece of selenite in my car that actually sits there on the dash so that the angels will always be around me. And I talk to them and say thank you for watching and guarding over me. And then I have a little stuffed animal I keep in there that I talk to, that I say, hey, just, be on the lookout. I'll be talking with you. If you see anything weird or unusual, let me know. So that's one way I protect my car. So your home is kind of like the same thing. You use the Santo Polo and cleanse it out. You have the same stones out. I have a stone hanging on my wall that's the same type of material. So if somebody's casting bad against me, I have 3 eyes, 3 talismans that see what is going on. And it's a beautiful stone. I'll show you, like, my one that I wear looks like this. And I have other pieces that are absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. Yes. Okay. And of course I have my cross, and I have the ones with the little beads on them. So every time I see this, I think gratitude and what all I'm grateful for. Because one thing too with protection, you have to change your energy and vibration. See, when you're in the dark and it's chaos, it's like a big swirly mess. I mean, imagine a piece of yarn that a bunch of invisible kittens got, and how tangled up and knotted, and how it would be going with the string all over the place. I mean, it's just insane. That's what it's like. I remember this guy who said he died and went to hell. He said it was like fighting and they were rolling on the floor and all this. That's because you haven't healed, because we don't have true genuine sages in abundance or in the amount that's needed. And people are carrying these past wounds with them and causing and reflecting all this harm and negative stuff to be coming out, and not being able to heal from it. So, it's good to try to keep your energy up. Whereas light is like a beam, a great big wide beam that just opens up into the universe and goes for eons and eons and eons. Well, we know that the black, the darkness, it is in an abyss. Some people will say bottomless abyss, but you will see it as a bottomless abyss. Just imagine having all these people who are not healed, who want to fight, who are nasty and always wishing ill will on each other, who are selfishly cruel and gluttonous. Imagine them all being in a time capsule, or imagine them all being in that pit, that bottomless pit, what it is like. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, I have ways that I think and see things in my own mind where somebody else may not be able to understand how I'm seeing it in my mind. Anyways, so those are some things you can do. You can carry on you. Oh, and my evil eye, I actually have an owl on mine, but you can get them with elephants. You can get them with all different types of things on them. Some people even carry feathers from hawks that were given to them by that hawk. You can't just go and be taking hawk feathers and stuff. And in fact, I believe in some states, when you do get something like that, what they really want you to do is take it to a shaman, or take it to the park rangers and say, hey, spiritually speaking, in sacred terms, this was given to me. I want to videotape this because this is special to me, because it's part of my path. I know, and people look at me and say, you don't look a lick Native American. I'm like, really? Okay. But I got the blood in me because I absolutely love the earth. Okay? So this is what brings me to another thing, keeping your home protected, using those same crystals that I just discussed, using certain herbs, like ones that I just mentioned are really good herbs to have. Rue, agrimony, hyssop, cloves especially is a good exorcism. I would be stocking up in that stuff. Um, because my whole thing is what I'm seeing right now, and of course, remember, this is me at the crossroads. It's like, what is going on? It's like I'm standing at this crossroads and I see all these different paths and all these different possibilities that could happen. Nothing is carved in stone, nothing. And so I just feel like the veil is getting so thin that it's allowing things to come in that maybe should not be coming in. There's one of my stones in the corner. I have black tourmaline and selenite there. All right, let me plug my phone in because it's acting like it wants to die. It's been a long day. My feet hurt and I still have to go work on my online store. But here's the thing. So I don't know, and I just keep running into people who feel the same way. Like, just that the veils are opening and that there's things wanting to come up. And then, I don't know, I just feel like that's going to happen. These veils are going to open, but then they're going to close, and it's going to be like the new earth. We don't want them in, and we don't want to be on their side because they feed off of negative energy. They feed off of your depression. They feed off of everything that is darkness, not light. You know, you've heard the saying, like attracts like, and it is true. And these different things that are out there, they have to feed off of that. They have to. Misery loves company. Um, that's, I don't know how else to put it. But honestly, I probably need to do one on healing. If I was anybody out there who needed help and needed healing, I would say a Reiki practitioner would be good, but make sure you get somebody who does things in the light, who calls upon like the angels, their animal totems, their spirit guides. I would not be going to somebody who calls in all the gods in the universe because I know with the things that I see out there that, you know, there are some gods that are not probably the best gods to have around. And some people will argue the debate that, well, they're there for negativity, so it makes you better. You can't even argue that from an educated perspective, from an intelligent perspective. To say that, to give an excuse for being trash and being selfish, cruelly selfish and gluttonous. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's one thing to be selfish, but I'm talking about the cruelly gross, negligent stuff that's just disgusting. And you know, anyways, I don't want to get too deep into that. But I just feel like there's a lot more things going on. 2005, the Catholic Church had more and more calls for exorcisms to be done. When I went looking and tried to get help so that I could learn these things, they didn't want to help me. That's fine. Because you know what? I don't serve you. I serve my God and how I see him and the angels that are around me, fighting for good and for positive and for love and for peace, not for this people who want me to fit and conform into their little mold, because that, my friend, is not going to happen. So, because I have a mission here, and then some people can't understand that. That's okay. That's all right, because it's not for them to understand. So, but anyways, yeah. But anyways, so that's where we're at. That's what we have going on today. I just wanted to stop and give some of the hints on that. I don't have my laptop pulled up, but those herbs that I went over, here they are. It's rue, hyssop, agrimony. I call it raw. Rue, agrimony, hyssop. You also have cloves, which sends away, it's like an exorcism type scent, herb, and it diplomatically handles an exorcism or evil. What else? Rosemary, basil, bay leaves. Burning bay leaves in your house helps. Sweetgrass, especially if you have a Native American. Sweetgrass, different sages. Santa Paulo is very good. I learned that from a 7th generation gypsy that is strong. Burning black candles in your home eats up negativity. Black candles are not evil. You can do the same. You can do harm with the white candle. Trust me on this. I know this. So burning white candles, calling in the angels to be around of it, or your spirit team, and for safety around them. Making special oils and using the power of the moon. And some people will say, well, that's just baloney. No, it's not. The moons control the tides. If you watch the star alignment and different things going on and different tides that we have and things like that happening, then you'll start to understand like what all is happening. But you got to get out there. You got to have some facts to back it up instead of, well, I just don't want to believe it. I mean, and sometimes I think people who don't is because their DNA has not been activated, or they are just at a lower level of learning. They're at a lower level of understanding. They're on the lower ring of Jacob's ladder, and they just haven't, they're just in this life, they've not progressed to where they need to be. But anyways, I hope this helped out with that. Chinese floor wash. If you get Chinese floor wash, try to get the Chinese floor wash slash bath. Try to get the stuff, the Chinese wash that you can like use in your clothes and use in your bath. And if you put it in your bath, I'm going to tell you right now, use a little bit. If you were like me being hexed to death, I use that a very smidge, like dipped in a Q-tip and put the Q-tip in my tub water. I got so sick. It was just not even funny. It was just awful. So, for whatever reason, my back is itching now. You see how things come about? Oh, I know. Look at that. You see that black in the corner? That was from frickin' having an attack from bed bugs from work. Oh, yeah. This room has been bombed like 4 times in the last 2 months. Um, Anyways, y'all really don't need to know. When you start talking about evil chasing after you, it's bad. I mean, when your water smells like sewage and you've got roaches coming up everywhere and you've got insects everywhere and spiders everywhere and you just bomb the house and you got more, and it's like you called it, I'm telling you, there are things coming up and through and things that I have seen. So this is why I'm putting this out here for you all to see. Like how to protect your home and how to keep things away. And I mean, even people working in Congress, yes, senators, governors, people who don't want to be known, people in political places, in government positions that are high up, governors, they just, or city council members, mayors, they don't want you to know that they've had to do things. I mean, if you ever watch, like sci-fi sometimes has the true ghost stories. There was a guy whose house had where this man was doing abortions and the babies were alive and he was killing them and offering them to some demon. Please. Some people get off on that and like that because that's just where their energy's at. That's what they chose to be. They took that. They chose that. And guess what? They're going to stay in the lower level when the veils start closing back up. And there'll be those of us who won't just, we just don't have this power, this gift. I don't even know if you can call it a power, but just this gift. I mean, it's going to be there always. And in a certain line of spirits, which we're all spirit. Remember, I'm a spirit, you're a spirit. So, and it's just that way forever because this is, I guess it's kind of like what we chose to do. Because somebody has to protect the Mother Earth. Somebody has to protect the realms. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day I might do one on gatekeepers and tower keepers, rook keepers, tower rook keepers, scouts, and things like that. I don't know. But anyways, guys, I'm at 18 minutes. Y'all have a great night, okay?